When I first started out with photography, I knew I needed consistent practice if I was going to get any good. But the challenge that I had was, how do I do it? What do I shoot? And how do I even measure the progress that I've made from the practice that I've put in? I searched and searched for a solution until I found Lara Acorn's 52-week themed photography challenge. That challenge gave me the structure and the roadmap that I needed to get going. When I started on the challenge, I then decided to add on a few self-imposed constraints in order to keep myself locked in or focused on the themes that I was going to be shooting throughout the entirety of the challenge. First, I decided that I was going to shoot exclusively using my point and shoot Canon PowerShot 3100 IS. Second, I decided that I was going to compose my final images in a square format. Now it's a little bit tricky to work around with the composition in a square space, but that limitation, I find it liberating in terms of my creativity, in that I have to think a bit more creatively. I have to think outside the box to create inside the box. Anyway, I digress. But that limitation, the square format, as limiting as it is as an image format, I find it extremely liberating in terms of my creativity, because some things that I didn't consider before with other formats, I now have to bring into consideration with the square. And that, the refinement of my thought process when it comes to my photography, is exactly what I'm looking to improve through this practice. So having a structure helps you make your practice routine predictable so that you're using as little willpower deciding on what to work on as possible. And it helps you pay attention to the kind of effort that you're putting into the practice so that you actually think about what you're doing as you're practicing. And third, it also helps you to review your thinking, to review the effort that you've put into your practice and see what's working and what's not. And from there, assess yourself and see the progress that you're making. And you need these three things because they keep you grounded. Even when it feels like you're clueless about what you're doing, you're clueless about your practice, you're not sure if it's getting you anywhere, seeing the progress that you've made, moving from point A to B to D, or maybe even F or G, further down along the line, looking back, it gives you a little bit of wind in your sails to keep going, to say, I think I'm getting somewhere with this. Anyway, that's the challenge I had starting out with my photography practice. A lack of structure. How do I even do this? This is the approach that I found, a weekly challenge that keeps me shooting every single week, and it keeps me paying attention to the work that I'm putting in and helps me review myself and the progress that I'm making. If this works for you, great. Let me know. I'll share you the link to the challenge if you'd like to join in. You can also follow along the challenge as I post weekly on my Instagram page. But if this is not something that works for you, then I'd urge you to search until you find a structure that aligns with the kind of work that you do. Hope this helps.